What's up, friends? It's Jay Lobos coming back to another episode, and today we're actually here with our
Berto, sales manager
from Buildward Strategies. And Berto and I keep getting the same questions constantly from a lot of different people. Usually when they call our office, Justo, I don't know if I should file for bankruptcy. I don't know if I should do credit repair. Could you help me?
Is this the way to go?
What should I do? What should I do? So we actually created a blog. It's going to sit down in our website, buildwardstrategies.com. There's going to be a lot of blogs that we're going to be sharing with you guys. So for you guys watching the channel for the first time, consider liking, subscribing, and obviously commenting. And if you found the information to be very fruitful, go ahead and share this with loved ones and family members. So let's go ahead and get started. What's actually one of the first things that we always get? You know, should I file for bankruptcy? First off, what is bankruptcy?
Right. How does a bankruptcy come about? So a bankruptcy, guys, is basically when you as a consumer are not able to pay for your debt anymore. You know, there's different types, and obviously there's also different motives or why you would file for bankruptcy. Yep. One of the biggest main reasons for filing bankruptcy is medical bills. You get, some sort of an illness and you're overwhelmed with medical bills, potentially also a divorce. Or
so in other ways, if you get yourself into a financial struggle, financial situation, your obligations are more than your income, then bankruptcy could be a way out. And I always like to go ahead and say this, especially when I'm doing my free credit evaluations. There's two different things in credit. We have the financial aspect of it, which in this case, a bankruptcy can help.
Right.
And there's also the information that's being reported, which obviously impacts your credit or your scores.
Right.
So there's two different things. So, there's different types of bankruptcies.
Exactly.
The common ones, usually we talk about Chapter 7, which is liquidation of debt.
Right. That's the chapter that will
everybody wants.
Liquidate everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anything back. Everything is taken care of.
And we also have Chapter 13, which is another common chapter, which is like a reorganization of debt.
It's like a payment plan, per se.
Absolutely.
Between 3 to 5 years, you need to have some sort of an income, a job, in order to qualify for it. Okay, but that's pretty much what it is.
So I wanted to go ahead and talk about 5 things you guys should know about bankruptcies, which now that we've gone ahead and learned a little bit about what a bankruptcy is, obviously there's different chapters. Chapter 9, there's a chapter 12. So there's different chapter 11 for businesses. So all those chapters, remember guys, bankruptcies were created for the sole purposes of protecting us. So that if we want to go ahead and we have an asset that we want to protect, like a home, like a business, then we have to organize ourselves based on the chapter what we're eligible for. So let's go ahead and dive into these 5 tips. So the first one is, there is more than one type of bankruptcy, which we just literally elaborated.
We just went about it again. Chapter 7 is flat out bankruptcy, liquidation. Chapter 11 and 13 are payment plans.
Restructuring, reorganization. We have a chapter 11, which is usually for businesses. Chapter 12 is for agriculture and medical. And then we also have Chapter 9, which is for like municipalities, states, things like
government
that.
And stuff
but for
like
the most part, common ones for you consumers, 7, 13, usually the usually ones. Obviously, we know that the Chapter 7 liquidates everything, which is obviously what people shoot for, but there's also other requirements. And check this out. So the next thing to know is your credit will be affected.
Guys, come on. I mean, remember, 35% of your payment of your score is based on history. So now what happens when you file a bankruptcy? Your history gets tarnished. Obviously, you liquidate the accounts. The account are taken care of in a legal manner. Is discharged. So that will affect your payment history. By end, it will affect your scores.
Keep this in mind, guys. The accounts that you're including in your bankruptcy will have a description on your credit report, and it will literally say included in bankruptcy.
Correct.
You will have a public record, Chapter 7, Chapter 11, Chapter 13 on your public record. When it was discharged, when it was filed, things of that nature.
Number, everything.
Remember, 35% of your score is based on negative information. So if these negative indicators are coming onto your credit report and you have someone like an underwriter reviewing your credit, in the future, when you're applying for a different type of account or a different loan, these could be red flags. So you have to know that there will be some sort of information reporting on your credit. Step number 3.
Number 3 is going to be not all debts are forgiven.
This is huge.
This is a huge one because, again, With True, we just talked about Chapter 7, which is total liquidation, but it's always a but, guys. Remember, that does not apply to certain specific type of accounts, which in this case, for example, one that we all know and we all are, guilty of it, which is student loans.
Student loans are huge, guys. This is federal. Anything usually federal, you can't do anything about it.
Right.
So again, with that being said, also IRS debt.
Tax liens.
Tax liens, those, it's unfortunate, but you cannot go and put that through a bankruptcy and liquidate that. So
Uncle Sam ain't going to let you slip that easy.
So not all debts are forgiven. So consider that also. Another thing too, number 4, bankruptcy does cost money, guys.
Change.
So you have to take that into consideration, depending on the chapter that you're filing, depending on the law firm that you're hiring, and depending on your obligations and debts, the amount you have, you might have a different enrollment. So it could be a flat fee. It could be an initial with a monthly.
Right, with a payment plan or something like that.
Most likely, yep. Also, there's also court fees, filing fees, docket fees. These are things that you have to take into consideration. So, bankruptcies could be costly.
Remember, just to add to what Jose was saying, guys, remember this. So you have your enrollment fee, which is the fee that you're paying your attorney, your law firm to represent you and do all the paperwork. But then you have your court fees. Obviously, the attorney's fees is not going to cover any court fees. So you're going to be that's going to be included as part of your cost.
It's an addition.
Okay, so it's like taking care of a traffic ticket.
Yeah.
You pay the ticket clinic or whomever it is $60 to represent you, but at the end of the day, you still got to cover the court cost.
It is what it is, guys. So keep that in mind. Obviously, if you're looking to file for bankruptcy, there's going to be an expense. So take that into consideration. And lastly, but not least, is number 5. There is a positive side.
Of course.
Which is starting all over, guys.
I mean, look, on average, based on our experience, after about 12 months, after a year, normally somebody that has filed a bankruptcy could kind of start trying to regain their credit worthiness.
Well, and another thing too, it's not that it's in 12 months you can, but keep this in mind. The specific date is the charge-off date.
Oh,
so once you get discharged, as a matter of fact, the start over aspect of it that everybody wants in Chapter 7, because guess what comes afterwards? Then all these creditors are going to come to you because guess what? You've discharged all your debt. You no longer have any obligations, any responsibilities with your old debtors. So in reality, your debt to income ratio is 0 on your credit report. So you're going to be prone. You're going to be solicited a lot more. You're going to be able to apply and get approved much faster after that discharge date. So there is hope after, which in regards to the debt, but just obviously keep that in mind. Has nothing to do to an extent with the scores, because that negative info is still there, but at least you have you have a second opportunity, a second chance. We talk about that all the time. So again, guys, this is not for everybody, but to the ones that do qualify and are considering it, take those points into consideration because they could definitely help. So guys, until next time, again, consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and share this with family and friends and loved ones. Until the next time, take care.
Peace.